Walking connects us to the glorious world around us, which we so often lose touch with in our busy everyday lives. It's good for our health and lifts the spirits like nothing else.
That is the most incredible view I've ever seen.
More and more people are feeling the benefits of this simplest form of relaxation.
Walking is about getting fit in body, mind and soul.
Being in nature gives me such a sense of the sacred.
And in this series, we're going to be joining them.
I'm Marine Baig.
And I'm JB Gill.
Come join us as we celebrate the joy, wisdom and beauty to be found not only in Britain's incredible religious spaces.
There's something really special when you enter a place like this.
But in its people as well.
You're really casting everything else away, all the problems of the day.
So important for our well-being.
If you're mindful and spend time in the present moment, then you'll have a much richer life.
We'll be discovering Britain's hidden cultural and historical treasures.
Imagine what this would have been like in its former glory. Unreal.
And unearthing an array of special places that can bring peace and spiritual fulfillment.
Dartmoor is my temple. Dartmoor is my cathedral.
No matter where you live, there's some trail or route you can walk. So put on your walking boots, put your best foot forward,
as we embark on some walks of life. For our walk this week, we're moving inland from our normal countryside locations to a more urban space, and what a place it is. Today, I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland's capital city since the 15th century. A city of two halves, it has a medieval old town and an elegant Georgian new town. And looming over the city is Edinburgh Castle, home to Scotland's crown jewels and the Stone of Destiny, used in the coronation of Scottish rulers. Though the streets and landmarks will be familiar to many, today I want to uncover some of Old Reeky's hidden secrets, like the colourful Buddhist temple locked away in this austere bank building. I'll visit a church where a hugely significant religious mural is being rediscovered after 200 years.
At the Reformation, there had been a reaction to religious painting and artwork, so we think that that's probably what led the Presbyterians to cover it up.
I'll find out there isn't a magnifying glass in sight at the city's Arthur Conan Doyle Centre. Instead, it offers a fascinating brush with the afterlife.
I do know a Doreen, actually.
It's very loud in my ear. It feels like it's the first time she's come through.
And finally, I'll hop on my bike to reach perhaps the most stunning religious building I've ever seen, the awesome Roslin Chapel. The Da Vinci Code would have you believe it's full of hidden secrets and messages. Who needs them when the magnificence of its artwork is on display for all to see?
And if you look, you can see carvings of angels, and they're all playing musical instruments. And because we're in Scotland, as you might expect, there's an angel playing bagpipes.
I love it. Edinburgh lies on the southern shore of the Firth of Forth estuary. I'll be walking through the city on a 10-mile journey from Leith in the north to Roslin Chapel in the south. Edinburgh is the UK's second most popular tourist destination after London, drawing more than 1 million overseas visitors to its attractions each year. But I want to explore the more hidden side to this great multi-faith city. Leith is Edinburgh's port, so the first stop on my unexpected highlights tour is a visit to the most celebrated of the vessels moored here. A ship you might not have imagined was available for the public to explore. There she is. What a stunning yacht. Looking very regal, tucked into the Edinburgh coastline. The Royal Yacht Britannia was used by the Queen from 1954 until 1997, travelling more than 1 million nautical miles around the globe. And Leith won a nationwide bid to berth her the year after she was retired. The great and the good once sailed upon her, but this morning I'm getting my own private tour from guide Roger Moran. Hello, Roger.
JB, welcome to the Royal Yacht. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good, good.
Here you come. Well, welcome to the State Apartments on board JB. This is where Her Majesty would entertain her guests worldwide, foreign heads of states, foreign royalty. Also, an interesting area in which the royal family would spend some time relaxing in their downtime.
Well, you can definitely get a sense of home because I feel like I've walked into a living room.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you felt that because the interior design here that you're seeing on board is that of Her Majesty the Queen, her personal taste. She wanted a quiet country house feel, beautiful and very, very homely.
Absolutely.
Very homely.
So what are the uses of the boat now?
Britannia's been in Edinburgh now since 1998, so we're enjoying currently in excess of 390,000 visitors per year from every corner of the globe. Wow. You might imagine a huge interest still in royal yachts.
And who else has been welcomed here?
Well, you're walking in some fairly famous footsteps here. So Winston Churchill, as early as 1954, was on board. Nelson Mandela, Rajiv Gandhi, a host of American presidents. Some celebrities, of course. The playwright Noel Coward was invited on board during Princess Margaret's honeymoon. He was asked to sing for his supper, so he played the baby Welmar grand piano there that you see in the corner. So yeah, and Princess Diana, of course, used to like to play the same piano, which has been on board since day one, really, on the ship.
I'm no Elton John, but I can't resist a tinkle on the old ivories myself. Rule Britannia.
Well, very appropriate.
I don't know that one. So there you go, something like this. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, very good, very good.
You can tell sight reading wasn't my forte.
Brilliant. Excellent.
Thank you.
And welcome to the largest and possibly grandest room on board the yacht, JB. This is the state dining room where Her Majesty would entertain at a state banquet. The optimum number in here for a banquet during Britannia's service was around 56. And it would take the stewarding company about 3 hours to set this table.
This room is amazing. I'd have loved to have come and had a dinner in here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very, very special place. So welcome to the Royal Bedroom Suite. And this was Her Majesty the Queen's bedroom on board Britannia. A beautiful room again, in that understated, quiet country house feel of design. Are you familiar with The Crown, television series The Crown? Yes. Britannia featured heavily within that.
Oh, did they use the boat?
They didn't use it, but they used it for research, and they recreated this bedroom area very, very well, I have to say. And the attention to detail was superb, right down to the needlework above Her Majesty the Queen's bed, which reflects the Queen's love of British wildflowers.
Amazing. But what I find most fascinating lies below deck, where you get a glimpse of the private world of the 220 crew members who kept the royal household afloat. Slightly less opulent down here. Got all their bunk beds. Reminds me of being on tour, to be honest. I'm quite partial to a bunk bed. Mail office is here, where Her Majesty the Queen would have been sending her mail, no doubt. And the laundry room would have been quite hot down here with all the engines and all of this machinery working. Oh, wow. Even got a GP surgery, just in case anyone wasn't feeling very well. This boat literally has everything. I'm a real royalist, so that was thoroughly enjoyable for me. It was amazing to see where Her Majesty the Queen and of course the royal family would have spent their time while they were on board this ship. There's so much history beneath the decks of this yacht. Right, next stop, here we come. My guidebook tells me that in recent times, Leith has developed from an industrial dockland into a thriving creative area. Some nice bars and restaurants around here. Seems like a real up-and-coming area. It also boasts a vibrant multicultural religious community with several notable historic churches, as well as Sikh and Hindu temples. But a couple of its places of worship take some finding. When it comes to this city, appearances can be deceiving. And sometimes you have to dig a little bit deeper to find real treasure. From the outside, this looks like one of the many hundreds of grand sandstone buildings situated here. But I'm assured the interior tells a very different story. Hello, Annie.
Hello.
Hello, JB. It might not look it from the hallway, but this is apparently now the Edinburgh branch of the Tibetan Buddhist Centre for World Peace and Health.
It was originally the first bank in Leith, and so in like 1805 it opened, so it's kind of Georgian style, but built more like a kind of Greek temple, you know, the architecture of it. But now it actually is a temple, albeit a Buddhist one. Do you want to see?
Absolutely, yes.
I'll take you to the shrine, but you will have to take your shoes, hat.
Okay, of this road.
It's warm in there, don't worry.
I've read that Buddhism doesn't worship gods or deities, but seeks a deep insight into the true nature of life. This Edinburgh branch offers people of all or no faith a place to meditate, and also provides courses to benefit mind, body and spirit. Okay, I'm ready.
Come, follow me.
Oh, it is very colourful, isn't it?
Yes, it's Tibetan style.
I wasn't expecting this when I came through the front door.
Sit down.
Yeah,
here
sit
and have
down.
a chat.
Yeah.
All Tibetan temples are very colourful, but they all have a meaning, and one of those meanings is to do with the elements. The red is the fire element, yellow is earth, blue water, white space, the green is wood and wind, so it's to balance all of those things.
Oh, it's a lovely room. Have you always been a Buddhist, Annie?
No, I wasn't born a Buddhist. I mean, you know, I was born in Manchester, and I did a lot of travelling and just kept coming back to the Buddhist faith more and more because it sort of chimed with what I was experiencing in my own life. It's when I came back to this country, I first heard the Dalai Lama speak and actually came into contact with a living being who sort of embodied the Buddhist faith. I remember he gave this talk about inner peace leading to world peace, that you couldn't have world peace if you didn't have any peace inside your own mind, and that made a lot of sense to me, still does. So then it became much more real for me. That was how it began.
So today, what is your practice, I guess?
It's about refraining from doing what is harmful to yourself or to others, and to adopt what is helpful. And the third one, which is really very important, is to tame and train the mind, because without that, we don't always know what's harmful and helpful.
And how do you fit into this existing community?
I mean, Leith, as I say, is a very welcoming place, but also we're very welcoming here. So you don't have to be a Buddhist to come. In fact, I would say probably most people that walk through the door are not Buddhists. I think the most popular thing we do is meditation. And I don't ask people what religion they are. I'm not trying to recruit Buddhists, you know. If I can help people, that's what I try to do.
I'm curious to learn more about the colourful shrine in front of us.
Of course, there's the main Buddha figure, and then a lot of what you see in front are offerings. So the bowls in front, these are saffron water, because saffron is a very precious substance. The crystal in front of it denotes drinking water, and water for washing the feet, flowers, incense, lights, and that's like a little baby conch. It's the offering of music. We have an actual proper conch, so for example.
Do you blow it?
Yeah. Do you blow it?
Yeah, I'll try. How do I do it?
It's quite tricky because there's no mouthpiece, so you just gently. You got it.
There we go.
Yes, well done. No, music is an offering, so that's why they're on the shrine. They're considered sacred. Also, this represents the Buddha's speech. The conch represents the Buddha's speech.
So now I've played the Queen's piano and Buddha's conch on this walk. There's no stopping me now.
Actually, do you want to try something else that's a bit even more ambitious?
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you one of these to hold. And then
what is this?
It's called a radon. It's a horn. So it's like a telescope. You can just follow me.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then again.
Oh wow, it's wrong.
That's it. And then we should really be sitting down to play these. So to get the high note, you make a tighter knot, so it's like.
I'm glad there were never any horn solos needed in my JLS days.
Well, almost.
Let's forget about the high note. You're really good at the bass.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Annie.
It's been a pleasure. Come again anytime.
Absolutely. All the very best.
Can you see yourself out?
Yes, no problem.
Okay,
thank
bye.
you. I really didn't expect to have that sort of experience in this building. It's a place full of colour, music and spirituality. A real hub and welcoming space in this community.
I'm now heading half a mile further west towards the city centre, and I'm starting to feel a bit peckish. I've had a largely unheralded hidden gem of a place recommended to me. Edinburgh has had a thriving Sikh community since the late 1950s. From the moment families started moving here, it evolved along traditional cultural lines. A largely patriarchal society where men worked hard to establish themselves in their new country.
But for the women of the Sikh faith, it's been a much harder transition, finding employment and overcoming social exclusion.
So, in 1989, a woman called Trishna Singh sought to buck that trend and established a unique community cafe designed to provide educational and employment opportunities for local women like her. And I'm told the food they make there is absolutely to die for.
That's the place I'm looking for. Punjabi Junction. A real taste of the Punjab. Hello.
Hi there. Hi, I'm Sunita.
Hello, Sunita JB.
Welcome to Punjabi Junction.
Well, this is just lovely and it smells divine.
Thank you
So
very
is this
much.
a restaurant?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit more than that. It's a social enterprise to help all women. So it started off with just Sikh women, and now it's open doors to all ethnicities with anything that they want. So it could be as simple as confidence building, all the way down to literacy, to numeracy, to IT as well. On top of that, we do cookery classes, and that gives the opportunity for anyone to come in and learn.
Why was there a need for something like this?
The Sikh culture traditionally is quite male dominant, so there was women who are kind of told that, you know, you will learn how to cook and you will become the perfect wife and then the perfect daughter-in-law and the perfect mother, and that is their kind of life. There's been so many barriers that suppressed Sikh women to get out there and find themselves in this world. Language or lack of education, lack of skills, lack of opportunities. And Trishna herself went through this, and she wanted to basically break this cycle.
Has the food always been the focus then?
Yes, so the food has been the main route to help these women. They knew how to produce authentic Punjabi food, but didn't know how to take the measurements and write down recipes and things like that. And then it evolved in the sense that the ladies started to come in and say, I really want to work in a restaurant, but I don't know how to do front of house. So we taught them how to do customer service skills. There's a lot of women found it really hard to speak to other men out with their own family. So that was a challenge for them as well, and we just did whatever we could to help break these barriers.
Well, I know one of the things that Sikh women do very, very well is cook.
Well, yes, that I can show you. I can show you. That's just through here.
Yeah?
We can hop through, maybe you can help us with a chapati or something.
Definitely. I'll see you.
So, this is our kitchen. If you'd like to take your jacket and things off, and I'll grab an apron for you.
Look, I'll tell you what, that smells incredible.
Yeah.
I've never cooked this kind of food before, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
So we're going to get you to start with some lettuce.
Lettuce?
Yes, a component, very important component for our tallies that we do. It's Tally Tuesday today. So let's start here and see how you do before we move you over to the bigger stuff. So.
Any particular way you want it?
We like it roughly chopped, just roughly chopped.
Thankfully, I got to the semi-finals of Celebrity MasterChef, so I'm a dab hand with a knife.
Were the restrictions cultural or religious then?
That's the big question, and that's what it is that's been holding women back, the whole fact that they're not allowed to go out when it's dark kind of thing. That's just, that's not a religious thing, that's a culture thing, you know. The younger girls in particular, when they are trying to be part of the British society, and they've got to balance their culture against British culture.
Has it been difficult to get across the line to the women as well as to the other members of the community?
Yes, definitely. I always remember Trishna saying that when it first started out, there was mixed kind of feelings from the community. A lot of women who were like, oh yeah, you know, finally something for us, something that allows us to do what we want to do. But there was also a backlash. That was because they felt that this is getting out of control. I need to know what you're doing and why you're doing it and where you're doing it. And you know, people will start talking about our family, and all of a sudden coming back to the honour thing, you know, you're losing it, you're affecting it. Yeah.
I remember leaving the house, even as a young man at from the Caribbean, and as you say, family honour is a big deal, you know. But I think when it starts to become restricted, I think that's when there needs to be a bit more balance.
I think from the beginning, we've probably had over 100 different women in different circumstances for different reasons coming to us.
And is this the first Punjabi kitchen that's run by women?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, from the Sikh community. Yes.
In the Sikh community.
Yes.
Wow, you must be proud.
Very, very, very. As kind of a Sikh woman myself, so for it to be founded by Sikh women, to be started up by Sikh women, to be run by Sikh women, to be managed by Sikh women, you know, to have chefs who are women, it's incredible.
Absolutely.
But we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Well, you've done really well there, so I'm going to move over to the next level.
Excellent.
Essentially, it's chapati flour and water. That's all we use to make up the dough, which we have here ready for us.
Yeah.
It's basically the healthier version of a naan bread.
Okay.
Okay, so grab some, and then we're just going to create round, nice and round. That's the key. Dip it into the flour so it won't stick to our table here.
Nice and
all
round.
around the edges as well.
So
roll it in there.
Yeah.
And then you just want to create a circle. And at the same time, you're rotating it as well.
Yeah.
And now the trick again, so with your rolling pin, just apply pressure, but then keep rotating. Should be able to lift it off. Okay. And you just want to flick it. Now this it expands it a little, but it also releases that excess flour. And then we put it down on a hot pan, and we just want to let it cook. Once you start seeing these little brown bubbles, then we turn it over so we cook the other side.
Yep.
Turn it again, grip of it. Yeah. So just let it sit there and just kind of circle it. That's it.
I can smell the flour coming through. Smells good.
And then we'll flip it over and see how that side's doing. There we go. And that's it ready.
You still serving lunch?
We are.
Can
Would you
I
like some?
I would love to have this for my lunch.
Okay, no worries. We'll get some curry whipped up for you as well to go alongside that.
Thank you so much. I think what you're doing is brilliant. Keep it up.
Thank you. Well, here comes your tally now.
Oh, thank you very much. Is this a chapati that I made?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Even in the rice, you've got the cumin coming through. And that chicken is just unbelievable. Let me try some of my chapati. Pretty good, if I say so myself.
I'm feeling very pleasantly full as I continue my journey south along Leith Walk. I'm entering the Old Town from the east of the city, joining the far end of the historic Royal Mile. There are plenty of world-famous attractions here, from the magnificent Palace of Holyrood House, the Queen's official residence in Scotland, to the Scottish Parliament building. But on this walk, I'm only interested in Edinburgh's hidden treasures, so there's no time to stop and take in these more familiar sights. Instead, I'm headed somewhere that's largely ignored by the throngs of visitors. But from what I've been reading, that's a trend that may well be bucked in the coming months and years. My phone tells me that where I'm headed next is a hugely significant building in Edinburgh's Old Town, St Patrick's Church. This is the place. In 1774, the Scottish Anglicans, or Episcopalians, commissioned one of Scotland's greatest painters, Alexander Runciman, to paint a magnificent mural depicting the Ascension of Christ above the altar. But then, in 1818, the Presbyterians took over St Patrick's and, disapproving of ostentatious religious depictions, painted over Runciman's work with more than 5 layers of thick paint. The church was reconstituted as Catholic in 1856, but the new owners had no idea the mural was there. But now, a dedicated team of art historians have not only identified its location, they are campaigning to have it return to its former glory, revealing it for the first time in 2 centuries. You can see all the details underneath. You can even see a face in the corner where some of the preliminary work has been started. And once this mural is finally uncovered, it's going to look spectacular. I'm meeting with the parish priest of St Patrick's, Philip Kerr, art historian Teresa Keenan, and the Reverend David Todd from the Episcopal Church, to see how the campaign to bring the masterpiece back is progressing. Well, what is the story behind it? Why is it covered?
At the Reformation, there had been a reaction to religious painting and artwork, and some Christians seeing it as idolatry. So we think that that's probably what led the Presbyterians to cover it up. And it really was forgotten about until Duncan Macmillan, who is professor at the University of Edinburgh, when he was doing his PhD on Runciman and came across references to this mural.
In terms of restoration, it's the prize of a sort of Scottish history. In many ways, we could call it the Sistine Chapel of Scotland. And we're fairly confident that, we are looking to get interested patrons and sponsors involved in this project because it's part of our national history, heritage. And in terms of philosophical thinking, there's lots still to be said within that story.
How did you start to uncover something that's been there for so long?
There are restorers in Edinburgh who have the ability to uncover what's there. So there's every chance that we'll be able to reveal what people enjoyed in the 1770s.
As with all such projects, though, restoration will come with a cost.
It's likely to be in the region of sort of between £200,000 and £300,000. So, but again, that will position this as a hugely important historical, philosophical, theological point in Scotland and Scotland's history.
And is this important from an ecclesiastical point of view?
Oh, very much, because it's depicting fundamental gospel stories. So it's a great opportunity for telling the gospel in a fresh way. It's also, I think, very important to highlight, what really was the fruit of the Episcopal Church coming onto the national stage in the 18th century, and that this is now in a place of worship which is Roman Catholic, but where all Christians are very welcome to come, and we do many joint services together.
Runciman could never have guessed that 250 years after he painted this mural, it would be unifying different Christian denominations in their bid to save it. I can't wait to come back and see it fully recovered. I carry on along a road called Cowgate for another 20 minutes, enjoying the hustle and bustle of the old town. Throughout August, this entire area will be heaving with visitors thronging to the Edinburgh Fringe, the world's largest arts festival. Scotland isn't Scotland without bagpipes. I wish I knew how to play. The festival doesn't have a selection committee, so anyone can come here to perform pretty much whatever they like. Every year, there are around 50,000 performances to choose from. I've never performed at the festival myself, so I've arranged to spend some time with someone who has. A regular here, much to the surprise of most of his audiences, he uses his faith as a basis for his comedy. His name is Ishan Akbar, and I'm meeting him outside Teviot Row House, the oldest purpose-built student union in the world, and one of the 300 venues which pop up in festival season every year.
This year, my show was called Prophet Like It's Hot, where I took a copy of the Quran on stage and talked about how funny it is, in a way that wasn't particularly offensive, although there would be people, I'm sure, who would have found it offensive. In the show, actually, I do a chant where I use Allahu Akbar, which basically means God is great, you know, and I do it to a football chant, so Allahu Akbar. And when I was in Edinburgh, I had people who'd seen the show doing the chant to me across the road, but you'd see other people going, oh, what's happening? You haven't come to the show. They'd be like, go and see his show, then you understand why that's funny. So that was nice to do. It was nice to kind of break that barrier.
So do you always talk about Islam?
I don't always talk about Islam. It's a big part of my comedy because, you know, the best comedy comes from talking about what's true to you. And my own journey of being someone who used to practice Islam and now no longer does is an interesting story. You know, I was a very devout Muslim. I used to be an imam in my local mosque. So I had a very inherent knowledge of the Quran. And I was able to just remember the bits that I thought that would be interesting to a liberal, non-Muslim, uninitiated audience, I should say, to tell them these are the things that you might find quite interesting and funny.
And can I ask, how come you've made that transition, that decision not to practice, I guess so?
It was a combination of just years and years of me thinking about it and just thinking, surely if there is such a thing as God, he wouldn't want us to be so divided. And then I ate bacon. And I was like, well, this tastes heavenly. I mean, God can't possibly want us not to eat this stuff. And that kind of tipped it over the edge, I think, slightly.
Have you had a lot of backlash from, I guess, people listening or people in your past, family members, to your type of material?
Yeah, I've had, you know, some family members who aren't pleased at all. They think it's insulting that I take the Quran on stage at all. Throughout my career, I've been doing comedy for 4 years. I've had 4 death threats.
Really?
But this show, I think it surprised people. I think people were expecting it to be quite offensive and, you know, really put Islam in some sort of bad light, but that was never my intention. So, are you of any particular faith, or were you raised in a faith?
Yeah, I was raised in the faith, and I would say that I'm a practicing Christian as well, yeah.
As a comedian, there'll be some Muslims who are like, you shouldn't be doing that at all, that's un-Islamic. Do you ever get that kind of criticism that you shouldn't be, I don't know, presenting that's not Christian?
Everyone is entitled to their view, and what is supposed to be a very Christian thing is to not judge people, regardless of whether they criticize you. You know, and all throughout the Bible, there's examples of people criticizing Jesus or ridiculing Jesus, or, you know, hitting him, beating, whatever it might be. You know, but he never criticized anyone. Other people are allowed to have their view, even if it disagrees with you. You know, and you can still respect the other person and their perspective.
But that's why it was so important for me to do the show, because as a comedian, I want to make fun of absolutely everything. I don't think that there's anything off limits. By being able to make jokes about the Prophet Muhammad and Jesus and Moses and Noah, suddenly everyone's equal. And as a society, I think we should be able to get behind that. But not everybody always agrees, obviously. So
absolutely.
That was my perspective on
it. What Ishan does is really fresh and bold. By asking people to see the funny side of religion, he's promoting equality and understanding, and I applaud him for it. I leave him and the Student Union and wander back to the top of the Royal Mile. It gets its name from the fact that it runs from Holyrood House in the east, where I was earlier, to the magnificent Edinburgh Castle in the west. I'm right in the thick of the city now. It's busy, there's lots of tourists, but there's a real buzz around here. This is a very special city to be in. Lying within a World Heritage Site, the area is jam-packed with museums, shops, restaurants, cafes and pubs. They line both the main thoroughfare and the numerous roads and pedestrian closes which run off it. But though this area feels incredibly familiar, it still has its fair share of surprises tucked away in unexpected corners. This is the High Kirk in Edinburgh, where a monumental decision was made in terms of faith in this country. In 1560, the High Kirk, or St Giles Cathedral as it is also known, was the site where Anglicanism was declared Scotland's official religion, ending centuries of Catholicism. The leader of this Presbyterian movement was a preacher called John Knox. If you tread the normal tourist trail, you'll likely come across the 6-foot statue commemorating him inside St Giles. But what fewer people ever get to see is his actual burial site, which, somewhat surprisingly, is in the car park out the back. The above stone marks the approximate site of the burial in St Giles graveyard of John Knox, the great Scottish divine who died 24th November 1572. I'm sure John Knox would have approved. He's even got a nice red car parked in his space at the moment. There are examples of hidden treasures and fascinating unexplored stories all over Edinburgh. The problem is, as with Knox, often the more famous stop-off points completely overshadow them. Take my next stop, a short walk from the Royal Mile across the George IV Bridge. Ah, here he is. Greyfriars Bobby. He's smaller than I thought he would be, and his nose is very, very shiny. Bobby was a Skye Terrier who became well known in Edinburgh in the 19th century. His owner, Night Watchman John Gray, died and was buried in the church behind this pub, Greyfriars Kirk. Bobby then spent the rest of his life sat next to his grave for about 14 years. The ultimate symbol of canine loyalty, Bobby captured the city's heart, and when he finally died, was honoured with a burial in the kirk right next to his master. Ah, here's Bobby's grave. And look, people have been leaving sticks for him. The stone reads, "Let his loyalty and devotion be a lesson to us all." Indeed. And Bobby isn't the only thing drawing the crowds to Greyfriars Kirkyard. It's also famous for being a source of inspiration for J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author. It's claimed she used some of the names from the gravestone, most notably Thomas Riddle, who went on to become the evil Lord Voldemort. There he is. He's famous, and he doesn't even know it. In the short time I've been in this graveyard, I've seen probably 10 people come up to this grave particularly to have a look. Avid Harry Potter fans. Tens of thousands come here to visit these two landmarks each year. Yet the vast majority pay no attention whatsoever to the building that unites them, Greyfriars Kirk itself. Despite the fact it has incredible historical significance for the country. It's one of the oldest surviving buildings within the Old Town, dating back to 1620, and it was the first church built in Edinburgh after John Knox's Scottish Reformation. To learn more, I'm meeting the current minister, Reverend Dr. Richard Fraser. Hi, Richard.
Hi there. Nice to meet you, JB.
Lovely to meet you too.
Thank you.
This is a beautiful church. And there's a setup of this church particular to the Church of Scotland because I've never seen a pulpit in the centre of the building before.
Right. The idea of the pulpit right in the middle of the church is that the preaching and the reading of the scriptures is done in the heart of the community, right in the middle. Mm-hmm. There's also a lovely memorial to the place where the National Covenant was signed in 1630 in this building.
Oh, wow. And what's the National Covenant?
Well, the National Covenant is probably one of the world's first attempts to write a human rights charter. The king ruled by consent of the people. And basically what they were saying was every human being, regardless of their station in life, had rights, had a conscience that they should exercise. And that's why Scotland became one of the most literate countries in Europe, because pretty soon, within about 50 years of the Reformation, every parish in Scotland had a school. And people were learning to read and write. And so Edinburgh became this ferment of scholarship and enlightenment and scientific thinking and all sorts of different things. It was a sort of Pandora's box that was opened up by the Covenanters and by the Reformation.
Richard then reveals that 200 years after this groundbreaking social change, Greyfriars was at the heart of another radical innovation that occurred after it was almost destroyed by fire.
And the minister at the time, Robert Lee, when they rebuilt the church, was the first minister in the Church of Scotland to introduce stained glass into a Church of Scotland church.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of Church of Scotland buildings were very austere, people didn't go in for ornament, didn't go in for artistic expression, but he did. He introduced a pipe organ, the first pipe organ in a Church of Scotland church. And he also introduced singing hymns and beautifully crafted prayers. It was quite a revolution, actually. And pretty soon after that, churches all over Scotland started introducing stained glass and pipe organs and a better form of worship that was more artistic in its expression. So it's been an innovative place, this.
And Greyfriars' innovations continue into the present day, with many of the church's halls now being used for the Grassmarket Community project. This is a social enterprise that has been running for over 30 years, designed to support disadvantaged people in Edinburgh and get them involved in creative businesses.
And so what we've created in the Grassmarket is a community where people look out for each other, where people do creative and innovative things. And I think the key thing that I've learned is instead of doing things for people, we're actually asking people, how can you help us to make a success of this place?
And how has the project been received by the community?
Well, I think really positively, actually. What we're learning now is that the church needs not to expect respect, but to earn it. To earn it by being alongside people, not judging, not condemning, and creating community. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it?
I love what this church is doing, opening its doors to the wider community, and the Grassmarket Community project is an incredible way of connecting with that community. Like Richard said, churches shouldn't just expect respect, but they should earn it. To reach my next hidden gem, I have to walk a couple of miles out of the centre of the old town and head to the city's west end. It's been suggested that I seek out a place named in honour of one of Edinburgh's most famous sons, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But I've been warned not to expect anything related to deerstalkers, pipes and violins, because this place is dedicated not to his literary work, but to his lifelong interest in spiritualism and the afterlife. Anne Traherne, chairman of the centre, has agreed to meet me and explain all. So this is the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle Centre, isn't it?
It is,
so
yeah.
This looks like a worship room or something.
Yes, this is our church. The Arthur Conan Doyle Centre is a spiritual centre for the benefit of the mind, body, spirit. And within our building, we have our spiritualist church.
So is it a religion in itself, or is it something that works alongside other religions?
Spiritualism is a recognised religion, and the governing body here is the Spiritualist National Union, of which this church is a member.
So what exactly is a spiritualist then?
We believe in God, and I would say it's the same God everybody else believes in as well. All religions believe in life after death, so do we. The difference, I would say, is that we use mediums to give communication from the afterlife. In other words, there is evidence that the person does survive the grave.
And you said that you use mediums, so why do you do that as opposed to, in the Christian religions, speaking to God directly?
Well, we do speak to God directly. We pray to God, we sing hymns to God, so that is very similar to any other religion. Instead of a minister or a priest, we have what we call visiting speakers. They are mediums. So they would give an address similar to a minister, but that address is inspirational. So it comes from the other world, from a spirit contact to the congregation, and then they will give a message from deceased loved ones to their loved ones here in the congregation. So for those people who are bereaved and simply cannot cope, getting a message that their loved one is actually there just without a body, then that helps tremendously, and it should be a healing function. We do have a circle starting upstairs. If you'd like to join us, you'd be more than welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come this way.
The open circle is one of the centerpieces of spiritualism. It's split into two parts. Firstly, deep meditation to connect with the inner self and the spirits. And then a discussion where you communicate your experience to the others in the group.
Hello everybody, this is JB. He's going to be joining us this afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you. As it's my first time, I'm just going to observe, and I'm fascinated to see what happens next.
Close your eyes and start to take some nice deep breaths, filling your lungs to capacity and slowly releasing. So let's expand our energy so that you are now sitting within your own power. And in doing so, we open ourselves to communication from that other world.
To my surprise, after a period of silence, members of the circle start sharing details of people they've been able to contact.
I had a Doreen.
I do know a Doreen, actually.
It's very loud in my ear.
I don't know her very well, but I do know a Doreen, yeah.
Yeah. It feels like it's the first time she's come through.
Yes.
Is it the first time?
As far as
champing at the bit here.
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Others relate encounters and places that came through to them.
I had a beach and a Welsh pony on the beach with a female and a Jack Russell. It's like feeling out at sea on your own, but you're not. You're actually, everybody on the beach was watching. And
so you're part of a community.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a nice message. That's a nice message.
Most surprisingly, one woman called Hazel recounts details that seem specific to Anne.
Your grandmother and your granddad were both very much around you. They're showing me you writing again. I know that you are writing a book, but there's more to this book. It's not just the book that's going to go beyond that. It's going to go to papers. But again, it's this thing of making sure, get the paperwork in order. You need to get the rights before you go public.
Thank you for all that, Hazel.
At the end of the proceedings, I want to quiz Anne about what I just witnessed. And just talk to me about what was happening in the circle meeting.
Okay, well, most of these people in the circle have their own guides that will work with them, that will communicate with them, and it allows spirit contact with the deceased. That communication can either be psychic and or spiritual.
Is there a difference then with the communication with the deceased spirit and
Psychic and spiritual? Yes. It's your psychic energy, your sixth sense that tells you if you're in a dangerous situation, or it tells you if you walk into a room and people have had an argument before you walk into it. That is a natural sixth sense that everybody has. And we here, we can train people to develop that psychic ability.
A lot of the messages that were brought out today were for you. Can you verify any of what was said?
Yes, I can. Hazel said something about the press. It's just yesterday I had one of the national newspapers contact me wanting to print my story. So that was a pretty good piece of evidence, I would say, that no one could have known about.
And what sort of evidence would you be looking for?
Evidence is unique to the individual. So we don't ask anybody to believe this. We don't go and try and persuade people. We're not evangelical. We ask people to be objective. You know, don't park the brain. Think about the information that's coming. And so you evaluate that yourself and decide what evidence you require to give you that proof.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you here. Come again.
Well, that was a really interesting stop-off. There's no doubting the power of what Anne and the Spiritualist Church do. There are plenty of examples in the Bible of mediums and psychics, but always in opposition to the Christian God. But what Anne was saying is that she prays to the same creator God as many other religions. For me, I think there are more questions than answers still. For the last leg of my journey, I need to leave the city centre and head about 8 miles due south. So, to save my tired old feet, I need a little assistance. And I think this is my guy here. How you doing? You can book both guided and self-guided cycle tours around Edinburgh. Alternatively, you can branch out on your own. And that's what I'm doing on this battery-powered e-bike to Roslin Chapel. In no time at all, I'm out of the city, through the suburbs and on the approach to my final destination, one of Scotland's true treasures, the magnificent Roslin Chapel. This is a beautiful corridor of hedgerows leading up to the chapel. I can tell this is going to be a lovely place. Roslin has long been rumoured to have connections with the Knights Templar and the Holy Grail. As a result, people flock here searching for secret signs and hidden messages. But in doing so, I'm told they often miss out on what's right in front of their eyes, the exquisite stonework which makes this one of the most opulent and beautiful churches in all of Britain. I've read that Roslin Chapel was founded in the mid-15th century by the Sinclair family. Originally Catholic, it was closed in the aftermath of the Scottish Reformation. It reopened in 1861 under the guidance of the Episcopal Church. Today, though still privately owned, it remains a place of worship.
I love it in here. It's so homely, but yet so impressive. It's so ornate, you look up at the ceiling and it's very intricate work. It must have taken forever to build this.
To learn more about its history, I've arranged to meet the director of the Roslin Chapel Trust, Ian Gardner. Hello, Ian.
Hi, welcome to Roslin Chapel.
Thank you. I begin by asking him about the building's construction.
Well, we think it took just about 40 years. 1484 was when Sir William St Clair died, and his son finished off what had been built. But the chapel has evolved over the years. The stained glass windows that you see were Victorian additions. When the chapel was first built, there would have been no pews. They've been added. The organ that we have dates back to the 1860s. So the building has evolved throughout the years, but of course the core of it is this amazing medieval stonework.
And do the family still own it, or is it owned by the church?
The family still own it, but it's now run through a non-profit charity. So everyone who comes to visit helps us, the trust, to keep the roof on and to look after the building.
In 2006, the Trust received an unexpected publicity boost when author Dan Brown used Roslin Chapel in the climax of the Da Vinci Code, his novel about the Holy Grail.
Before the book came out, we were welcoming maybe about 30,000 visitors, and when the book came out and then the film, our numbers went up to about 176,000, so huge increase in people coming to explore the chapel at that time.
And do people come looking for the Knights Templar and the Holy Grail?
People come looking for all sorts of things, yes. I mean, I think one of the nice things with all these carvings is that people can draw all sorts of interpretations, but we don't tell all the secrets to our visitors. We keep some of them for ourselves.
So those carvings you're talking about, could I see some of them?
Yes, of course. They're all around us, but let me point out some of the ones that some people miss when they're here.
Okay.
This is called the Lady Chapel. This is the most ornate, the most decorated part of the building, and it's a real focal point for visitors. And if you look round at the tops of these pillars, you can see carvings of angels, and they're all playing musical instruments or singing. They're celebrating the birth of Christ. And because we're in Scotland, as you might expect, there's an angel playing bagpipes.
I love it.
Now, it's not just biblical carvings that you can see, because in between all these angels are depictions of what are called green men. They're the link between humanity and nature, and you can always see leaves or vines coming out of the mouths of green men. And these are an unusual feature for medieval churches. We're supposed to have over 100 green men in the chapel. I've not seen them all, but because of the size of the chapel, it's unusual to have so many in one place.
And why is it called the Lady Chapel?
Well, it would have been dedicated originally to Mary. This would have been the place where the high altar was. So it is one of the most significant parts. And it also features the apprentice pillar. It's just over here. So the apprentice pillar is the most ornate pillar in the chapel. The story goes that the master mason couldn't decide what to do with this pillar. He discussed it with the family, and he was allowed by them to go and travel abroad to try and get inspiration. And while he was away, his apprentice was said to have had a vision, a dream of what the pillar could become. And he was allowed by the family to create what he had imagined. And it is a work of art. There are vines swirling round, there are dragons at the base, there's all sorts of details around it. But the story goes that the master mason wasn't impressed by the pillar. He was said to be furious. He hit the apprentice with a mallet and killed him. And then the master mason was put to death for murder. A sad tale, but a magnificent work of art in this pillar.
And did that all happen in the church?
Well, so the story goes, but there's another part as well. Because if you look, there are two faces hidden away in the corners. One is said to be the face of the apprentice, and on the other side is said to be the face of the master mason. So he's looking down for all time on the work of his apprentice.
Wow. I honestly love this place. Ian's kindly given me a couple more minutes to look around, but I feel like it would take me years to uncover all of the detail that are hidden in these pillars and walls. It's dark here at Roslin Chapel, but what a way to end a walk. Edinburgh's great, but its hidden gems make it truly special.